that took place earlier today, and of course what to expect from President Cyril Ramaphosa's address to the nation this evening. Political analyst Khanyi Magubane joins me now live. Khanyi, very good evening to you. Thanks indeed for your time. So let's start with this earlier press conference by the ANC. The ANC saying the issue of its Secretary General stepping aside was not discussed in their meeting. But I mean, shouldn't it have been, in light of clear resolutions taken by the party that once you're charged with corruption, you must step aside?
Absolutely, Criselda will remember that in August, the NEC held a special anti-corruption sitting where a number of resolutions were taken, and one of those was that those who have been charged with corruption must step aside. However, we, in a very surprising move, heard the Treasurer General, Paul Mashatile, saying that the matter did not come up, quote unquote, and that the matter would be discussed at the next NEC meeting. Now, a number of important resolutions did though come out of this latest meeting by the NEC, which the Deputy SG spoke on, and we'll remember, Criselda, that they said they still stand and they still continue to condemn corruption. They have not deviated from their stance, and that none of the NEC members are going to be there on Friday to show Ace Magashule any support in court. However, we know that the MKMVA has said that they are going to be there. They've used words like dismayed, they've used words like shocked, to say that they will not, be part of a plan to abuse state organs, organs like the SSA. And they said that it is disturbing that this is happening right on the day of by-elections. Over 90 wards went, to elections today. So it really couldn't have happened on a worse day.
Khanyi, the ANC finds itself in a conundrum because it talks about ethical leadership when it seems it is unwilling to take a decisive stance in this particular matter on resolutions that it itself had taken at its own conferences.
Right. Now, let's just look at what this means for the ANC. Now, the office of the Secretary General is the engine of the organization. They are the secretariat, along with Deputy Secretary Jesse Duarte. They are responsible for the operational side of the party. And if we are having a member of that office being attacked and being labeled with those allegations that she has, Ace Magashule, then that is a fracture right in the very core of the organization. He's been touted as being an equivalent of the CEO of an organization, and that's a very serious indictment. And so the move, forward for the ANC is to show that it will stand by its resolutions, that those who've been charged with corruption will step aside. We are expecting that at the next NEC meeting, this move will be made more clear. What is the ANC's position? Because right now, it's been moving in a number of directions. Some are saying that they've backtracked on their own anti-corruption stance. Some are saying they are being more measured. He's not an ordinary member of the ANC. He's a member of the top six, and so they must be measured, they must be clear, and they need time. But the question, Criselda, is do we have that time?
You spoke just a bit about the impact, Khanyi, but here we have the by-elections that have just taken place, the local government elections, which are just around the corner. What impact would a senior member of the governing party facing corruption charges then have on electoral support for the governing party?
It has tremendous impact, Criselda, because the constituency are the people who are going to vote for the ANC, and those are the people that keep the ANC in power. And as I mentioned earlier on, that this couldn't have happened on a worse day where the ANC needed to prove to ordinary South Africans why they should still be their party of choice. And maybe some people may not be aware of the seriousness of the charges, against, the NEC member Ace Magashule. But at the end of the day, it does dent the image of the party. It does, whether the charges continue to stick or not, it does not change the fact that the image of the party has been dented, and we will see how the ANC has performed in these by-elections. I wouldn't be surprised if they see a lower amount of voters that they expected, and will know that this is directly and proportionally related to the ongoing power struggles, to the infighting, to the corruption charges that continue to plague the ANC.
Can you very quickly, the president addressing the nation tonight,
Yes.
what should the president be telling the nation?
Well, there's a number of things that we can expect. There has been widespread speculation that we may move from level 1 to level 2, given, the high number of recent daily infections. At the end of October, we saw some days where we had over 2,000 infections a day, and that's not good for a country. There was a meeting of the National Coronavirus Command Council yesterday, and after that, the president met his cabinet, so we can expect the president today to tell us the outcomes of those meetings that took place yesterday. Some are saying there's been a vaccine breakthrough. We don't know about that. He will address the figures, and he will emphasize on a continued, response of safety measures.
Yeah.
So really, a lot of the expectations tonight is that he's going to be tough on South Africans. What that means for us, well, we don't know. Some people have already started running to the bottle store in anticipation of some bans that might come back into effect.
And I guess, Khanyi, all of that is just speculation until 8 o'clock this evening when President Cyril Ramaphosa addresses the nation. Thank you very much indeed. Political analyst Khanyi Magubane.